Okay, so today's practice, I'm going to be borrowing a wonderful tool from Tara Brach. She's a beloved meditation teacher in the online community. She does this practice, or she calls it a tool, known as RAIN. And it's an acronym for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So we're going to dive into this rain practice today. Sitting with an upright spine. And even though you're lengthening up, bringing in the strength and the stability and the structure of this upright body, also bring the softness, the sweetness, the ease. So allowing your shoulders to just be down away from the ears as your hands just rest anywhere in your lap. And if you like, closing your eyes to go inside. And finding the breath. So let your anchor be watching the breath, noticing the breath, the flowing in, the flowing out. So just like the bell comes and goes, our breath comes and goes. As we watch the breath, we're also aware of the body that breathes. And just feeling, having a noticing of the feelings in your body. In present time, what's present at this time. And to see if there's anywhere in your body, maybe you could relax a bit more. Checking in, tuning in. And maybe bring the sweet smile. Just ever so slightly turning the corners of the mouth up. Tongue is soft in the mouth. And as sensations in the body come and go, the thoughts in the mind come and go. And earlier, when I was meditating, I started to consider this word feeling, like we bring feeling into our practice. And like I was like, Okay, we feel the body, we notice the sensations, and we feel the breath coming and going, and we feel the movement in the body as we breathe. And then when I moved to the mind, I was like, how do we feel the mind? Like the thoughts. Do we feel thoughts? And I was like, no, we think thoughts. But this is very interesting because in the yoga teachings, the the thoughts and what we call the mind, the thinking monkey mind is a part of our mind. It's not the only part, but it is the same body or sheath, as they call it, layer as the emotions. And it's the emotions we feel. And it was like, even though I've probably heard this so often, it was this little aha. It was like, ah, so I get it. Present moment, somatic awareness is feeling. And the mind is not separate. Like we think of the thoughts up here in the head, but it's not separate. They say mind and body is joined, it is interconnected. And so, obviously, thoughts link to emotions. You have a thought, right away, there is a simultaneous emotion. Sometimes, maybe it's benign, but at other times, thoughts can lead to ruminating, can we could be triggered by something in the present that remind us of the past, and that's the monkey mind coming in. And emotions come up. We get a knot in our stomach. We can feel our heart constricting. Our shoulders might tense. Our body might tense. Or think about even feeling joy when you're happy or excited and have butterflies. Or that feeling of joy. It's all a part of the feeling realm. So really, we've come to spend this time with ourselves and hold space no matter what arises, no matter what we feel. So imagining you're sitting at the riverbank, you're choosing to be still. The river flows by as life is always changing. And there's the clouds in the sky, like the thoughts floating by in the vast, spacious sky, which we can think of as our witness, consciousness. It's a part of our higher self that can be present to all the changing, the impermanence. And maybe the sunshine could be our inner light and truth. And sometimes we can't see the sun because there's so many clouds. And this is similar to our monkey mind. It kind of covers up. But we can always know that the sun is always shining, even when we can't see it. We know this when we go on an airplane and go up past the clouds. And it's just beautiful blue sky, spacious sky. So self-compassion depends on honest, direct contact with your own vulnerability. To be vulnerable is to really be with yourself, with those parts of you that might be wounded, that might feel scared, that might feel hurt. And as we cultivate compassion, we can allow it to blossom when we actively offer care to ourselves. To me, that's what meditation is. We're just caring for ourselves in this time we sit. Yet sometimes it's really hard to feel self compassion. Maybe we just kind of get stuck in our monkey mind and believe sometimes some of these unworthiness in the way that we have our self limiting beliefs and the thought patterns. The judge that's in our mind, the critical judging mind. And so we're developing self compassion. So as we go through Tara's RAIN technique or tool, this is helping to practice mindfulness and compassion with these 4 steps. So the first one, RAIN, it's the letter R. Recognize what is going on. So we've been doing that. We've come here to just acknowledge and recognize, to consciously acknowledge the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors that are affecting us. It's to recognize that we do get stuck, we constrict, we cling to, we push away. We have this critical inner voice, sometimes feelings of shame or fear, sometimes anxiety or the weight of depression in the body. Maybe you're dealing with some form of pain in the body, whether that's emotional or it's physical. We recognize, just noting what comes up. And in this recognizing, we come to tend and befriend. So we come back to the breath, come back to the sweet smile. And the second step is RAIN. It's the letter A, to allow. Allow the experience to be just as it is. So this means letting the thoughts, the emotions, the feelings, or the sensations to simply be there without trying to fix or avoid anything. When we're caught in self-judgment, just let it be there. Doesn't mean we agree with our conviction. Maybe that we're unworthy. Rather, we honestly acknowledge the arising of our judgment as well as the painful feelings underneath. And so, whatever you're noticing, and especially those challenging parts, the thoughts or the sensations we might be working with, see if you can just bring in a soft whisper, just to acknowledge and accept. Maybe just to say, it's okay. And I always love the higher self just saying, I am here for you always. Darling, I am here for you. Maybe that helps us to allow, the difficulty, whatever that is, to be just as it is. And the third step is the letter I, investigate with interest. So once you've recognized and allowed what is arising, you can deepen your attention through investigation. So bring in a natural curiosity, a compassionate curiosity. I think this is the tend and befriend where you invite those places in for a cup of tea to get to know them a bit more. And you can ask yourself, what most wants attention right now? Maybe it's a sensation in the body, and it could also be a thought. Just really knowing what you're experiencing the body or what you are believing at this time in your thoughts. And what does this vulnerable place need from me right now? And even if it is like a thought, remember the thoughts are directly linked to the emotions which we feel. And so it can be helpful to be really in the felt sense of the body, whether it's just simply physical sensations of pain or whether it's an emotion that's causing this internal feeling, discomfort or pain. To always notice and hold space with non judgment, a kind way. And then finally, the final tool is to nurture with self compassion. So the letter N in rain, nurture. So often, self compassion will naturally arise in a moment when we recognize we're suffering in some form. And we want to bring this intentional nurturing to our inner life with self care, the inner realms. So, again, in this tending and befriending, again, the nurture could be checking in with what you need at this time. Or maybe it's a part of your younger wounded self. And I think imagination is very powerful, where you could maybe picture yourself, maybe at that age, and just see what that younger you needs right now, and just visualize your higher self bringing that in, bringing the nurturing, maybe a message of reassurance, some form of gesture of kindness. Maybe another little soft whisper to say, I love you. Rain, to recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So after the rain, just simply notice your own presence in this moment. The fruit of rain is realizing that you are no longer imprisoned in the trance of unworthiness or in any limiting sense of self. And I like to think of rain as this. I love the rain, but rain is soothing and rain is cleansing, clearing, and just being present once again with all of you, in your breath, in your body that breathes, in your beautiful mind, including the monkey part, and also the emotions. And we want the emotions to flow, to emote, to move, to clear, to cleanse, to heal, and to bring in the rain. Because we all know the rain helps the flowers grow. So, my beautiful beings, bring your hands together into Padma Mudra. So you keep the three middle fingers open and peering into the diamond light. Just feel how the flower opens after the rain, symbolic of our heart space. And inside is the diamond light. Om Mane Padme Hum. May the jewel within the lotus. It's like the diamond light within us. Be realized. And we all have it. And sealing your hands in front of your heart space. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. I invite you to tuck this piece into bed with you tonight to sleep peacefully. I honor the light within each one of you and thank you so much for being here. Namaste, my friends.